Hey y'all, in this video I'm going to be going over the final CRUD operator, updating our data in Firestore. Stay tuned to figure out how I do it. So one of the final steps we're going to take before kind of going through making the app look prettier is we want to actually add edit button to each of these items. So we're going to head over to the list components and we're going to go ahead and add another button, and we're going to add this button onto the right. We can say edit class name, and we'll just go with button info. That's kind of a bluish feel to it. So button info, and from that button info, we want to have an on click, and then inside of this on click, we're not really sure what we want yet. I'm just going to leave it blank for now. And this just kind of gives us a button that we can click on here. So we need to go back and take a look at what this on edit click function does. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Or what the on edit click. Oh, we don't have an on edit click. Okay, well, even better. So const on edit item click. And inside of here, we're going to once again want the ID, and we're going to grab the ID and just pass it into the list component the same way we did with the delete button. We're going to use a log ID, and so now when we click, we should see that this is not a function. And the reason it isn't a function is because I got a little lazy and I forgot to bring it in properly. So now it will go ahead and ping us whatever item we're actually looking for. So this is where kind of another piece of the puzzle will come in, because we want this to actually route to the same form that we just used right here, except in this case we want it to populate the data that we have already. So what we're going to do is use a router hook, or not a router hook, but we're going to send data using the use history hook. So we'll place that right above here. This is part of React Router. So we're actually able to push state, and we want to push it to create log, I believe. And inside of here, you have to have a state object. So we're going to say state, and we're going to add, looks like we actually want to add more than the ID. We want the entire item. So let's go back and remove that. And let's put in, the entire log. And it looks like we have to change all of these to log as well. We can remove the delete. So use history is not defined. For some reason it is not importing, so I'll just import it myself. So now we click edit, and it says history push state is not a function. This is where IntelliSense kind of gets confusing sometimes, because it'll type in random things you're not actually interested in. So we'll go back to our blog form component, and now from our blog form component, we actually want to try to grab that data that we're passing to our component. And we can do that by using the use location hook as well. So we're just going to go ahead and set fonts location equals use location. Hopefully this one will import. Perfect. And then we're just going to set a variable up here, and this will only set post if location log, I believe. So now we can log the log, and from here we actually are able to see the values that we're pushing up. So this gives us a little bit more insight on what we kind of want to do with these use state hooks. So now that we know that the log.details exists, we want to go ahead and say log.details. So what this question mark does is basically says if it exists, then use it. Otherwise, you'll occasionally get the error out message. So now we go home, we can go edit, and we see log.details. So this is where our default values will come in. We have our values. They will only get set if it exists. So now we have title and description of travel. So we have autofilling working as intended, which is pretty cool. So the final step for this will be actually updating these values. And we're going to do that by making a secondary part of one of our existing functions, specifically the add item to Firestore. And we can actually update this. So we can include ID. And then with that ID, we want to say, we just leave this part if ID, then we can literally copy this entire thing. And remember how I was saying, if you have the idea, you can insert it right here. Well, that is exactly the use case we're looking for this specific item. So now we say, if there is an ID, use it. If not, create a new document. And so what we need to do is go back to the bullhog form, and we have our handle submit. We have all of these things. And then we say log.id. I believe we need to add our error handling as well. But now let's go ahead and see if we can update these values. So we have test title. Let's go back to that specific item, test title 1. And you can see the live updates are happening. The last step we want to do here is just router push or history push. So we're going to use history like we did on the other one, and the other component. And from here we can say history push, and this will push us back to our base directory. So title 5, and we see title 5, cool, action woods, and we'll go ahead and submit. So you can see how kind of useful Firebase is, and especially in terms of how you're able to kind of manipulate the data. And for me specifically, I love it when I'm able to just, send a ping and get back a JSON object. It does make it quite a bit easier in the long run. Anyways, we want to go ahead and remove these console logs. Thanks for watching. This wraps up our 7-part series on creating a web application utilizing React and Firebase. We hope you found this series enjoyable and informative. For more great GeoMarvel live videos, make sure to check out our YouTube page, and don't forget, like and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.